Welcome back, Questers, to our Quester routine of opening the scriptures. I hope you're feeling great because we're in Exodus 38. Let's get going. Oh, well, hello and welcome back, my Quester community. We're almost finished with the book of Exodus in our daily roots, our routine of opening the scriptures. Why do we open the scriptures every day? Because God's word is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. And if we're Jesus' disciples, well then we gotta be opening our Bibles. Because in order for our lives to bear sweet fruits, our hearts need to take deep roots in God's word. So let's get rooted, Questers. Exodus chapter 38. They built the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood, 3 cubits high. It was square, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. They made a horn at each of the 4 corners so that the horns of the altar were of one piece, and they overlaid the altar with bronze. They made all its utensils of bronze, its pots, shovels, sprinkling bowls, meat forks, and fire pans. They made a grating for the altar, a bronze network to be under its ledge halfway up the altar. They cast bronze rings to hold the poles for the 4 corners of the bronze grating. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. They inserted the poles into the rings so that they would be on the sides of the altar for carrying it. They made it hollow out of boards. They made the bronze basin and its bronze stand from the mirrors of the women who served at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Next, they made the courtyard. The south side was 100 cubits long and had curtains of finely twisted linen with 20 posts and 20 bronze bases and with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The north side was also 100 cubits long and had 20 posts and 20 bronze bases with silver hooks and bands on the post. The west end was 50 cubits wide and had curtains with 10 posts and 10 bases, with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The east end, toward the sunrise, was also 50 cubits wide. Curtains 15 cubits long were on one side of the entrance with 3 posts and 3 bases, and curtains 15 cubits long were put on the other side of the entrance to the courtyard with 3 posts and 3 bases. All the curtains around the courtyard were of finely twisted linen. The bases for the posts were bronze. The hooks and bands on the posts were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver. So all the posts of the courtyard had silver bands. The curtain for the entrance to the courtyard was made of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. It was 20 cubits long, and like the curtains of the courtyard, 5 cubits high, with 4 posts and 4 bronze bases. Their hooks and bands were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver. All the tent pegs of the tabernacle and of the surrounding courtyard were bronze. These are the amounts of materials used for the tabernacle of the covenant law, which were recorded at Moses' command by the Levites at the direction of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur of the tribe of Judah, made everything the Lord commanded Moses. With him was Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer, and an embroiderer in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. The total amount of the gold from the wave offering used for all of the work of the sanctuary was 29 talents and 730 shekels according to the sanctuary shekel. The silver obtained from those of the community who were counted in the census was 100 talents and 775 shekels according to the sanctuary shekel. 1 beka per person, that is half a shekel, according to the sanctuary shekels. from everyone who had crossed over to those counted 20 years old and more, a total of 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were used to cast the bases for the sanctuary and for the curtain. 100 bases from the 100 talents, 1 talent for each base. They used the 1,775 shekels to make the hooks for the posts, to overlay the tops of the posts, and to make their bands. The bronze from the wave offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. They used it to make the bases for the entrance to the tent of meeting, the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all its utensils, the bases for the surrounding courtyard and those for its entrance, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and those for the surrounding courtyard. Well, the grass withers and its flower falls away, but the word of the Lord endures forever. Exodus 38, there you have it. The tabernacle is finally being put together. Bezalel, Aholiab, and Moses and all the people are contributing and giving, and everything's coming together. I guess my 2 big questions are, what are these measurements? And why don't English translators translate it into measurements that we use? What is a beka, a talent, a shekel of the sanctuary? I don't understand those measurements. My second question is this. Everything that's being described sounds very heavy. Thousands of pounds, I'm guessing, of bronze and silver and gold being hauled across a desert. It just sounds like a lot of weight. How many people and cattle and oxen did it take to haul all of the things for the tabernacle across the desert as they were on their journey to the promised land? These are the things I wonder about. Well, those are my big questions, but I want to hear from you. If you have any answers to my questions or questions of your own from today's Bible reading, go ahead and write them down and send us a letter. You know where you can find our address, right? It's on our website, questercommunity.com. That's where you can discover more about our identity, who we are, our magnificent, meaningful mission, and what you can do to partner with us in helping curious kids all over the world discover God's big answers to life's biggest questions. Because we're a nonprofit, and everything we do is only made possible because of generous people like you. Well, I hope to see you for another episode of Roots tomorrow, but until then, take care of those around you. Always lend a helping hand. Keep asking life's big questions and do your best to understand. Be the best and kindest quester that you can possibly be, and seek truth and love together, which is the key that will set us free. I'll see you tomorrow, questers. We're on a quest to read the Bible.